Welcome to the second, or it's actually the third, but the third a conversation with, and I am absolutely ecstatic to somehow find David Harness in this room. I swear to God, this is amazing. Am I building it up too much? Maybe I need to mellow it. No, we did have Juliet Mendoza. And then Juliet had a slight accident. Well, it's not a slight accident. It was an accident. It was bad. She's okay. She's good. But we went to the West Coast and we brought David. And this is major. So big love. Thank you all for just hanging around and just vibing. We're doing this today and tomorrow. We've got a couple of other interviews that won't be broadcast, but they'll all be uploaded to YouTube in a couple of weeks. In maybe a week or a couple of weeks' time. It's been super nice. I love Amsterdam. I should move here. I don't know what my kids and my wife would say. But anyway, we continue. So there are a lot of interviews about David online, right? I can read them. I've lived David in my entire life.
Wow.
I know who David is. I know why David exists. I know what he does. So this is going to be a little bit different. I feel if David's going to play ball, I think we can make David play ball. But I'm going to give him a little bit of time just to intro himself, because everyone knows who David is. If you don't know who David is, I don't know why you're on this channel. But God, I'm my worst enemy, right? But no, David, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I am David Harness. I am from San Francisco Bay Area, Oakland, Northern California. I am a California child at heart. I represent Moulton Music, of course, as well as a few other labels that I've been playing around with, and I've been in the game for a long time.
A long time.
A long time, yeah.
What was your first record?
That I ever bought in life?
No, the first record you actually produced. Your first production.
Oh, first production. Darker Side of Melody.
Okay.
I did that. Oh my God, I can't even remember what label it was. I think it was on Love Slap.
Right.
Darker Side of Melody. Yeah.
So I was trying to work this lineage out, right? So
I took a sample of Magazine 60's Don Quixote, and I used that beat.
Okay.
And I just looped it, and that was like my first.
I'm going to need to find this record. I have loads of Love Slap, but I don't have that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that one. So I was trying to work this lineage out, right? So there was Naked Music with Miguel and Chris and a rotating band of artists like at jazz.
Yeah, it was a combination of sort of like a New York, San Francisco type vibe, because there was Jay Dennis and quite a few folks that were doing stuff on the East Coast. And then, of course, Miguel Miggs, JJ, even Julius Papp and a few of those cats were doing stuff on the West Coast.
And then after Naked, there was Chris Lum's label, right?
Chris Lum had started his label while all that was going on too. I mean,
I'm 45. You need to bear with me.
No, that's fine.
That is a long time ago.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying I'm old.
I'm older.
Well, you're living life though.
Thank you.
So there was Chris Lum's label, and that's kind of then that did you come up? So forgive me, but did you come up with Chris Lum, or was Chris Lum your mentor? And I forget. This is the thing I can't quite work out.
Chris Lum,
Harlem, right?
Yeah. Harlem Music came later. That was the collaboration of our production sort of royalty. By then, well, let me backtrack. So, Naked Music and all those labels were really starting to come up. JJ and Miguel and Chris started a small studio, and a lot of people think that this association is with Tom Moulton, but it's not. Mm-hmm. It was actually a small little alley street in San Francisco over in the near the marina heading towards the Golden Gate Bridge, and it was called Moulton Street.
Okay.
And that's what became Moulton Studios.
Yeah.
That's how it really became.
Right.
And it was a small, I want to say 2-room sort of like garage space. And they were laying stuff out, and everybody was just like dreaming big. A lot of things were really happening in San Francisco. I think that was the first time I ever went to that studio. Mm-hmm. I did a couple of things, but it was really when Moulton Studios moved to Polk Street, in closer to the Tenderloin area of San Francisco, is where it really flourished. It was actually, they took over the 3rd floor, which, if you know, you probably don't know some of this history, but DJ Digit and EFX were part of Freshly Squeezed,
Right.
which was part of Strictly Rhythm,
Yeah.
but it was for the West Coast, and that was their whole. That whole third floor was Freshly Squeezed Records,
Right. Okay.
and they were doing a lot of San Francisco stuff too, which
Yeah.
was amazing. So there was already history there,
Yeah.
and I mean, there's tons of history with this building alone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can imagine.
But JJ Miguel created this amazing studio. They had the back 2 rooms. Chris had his room on the other side, and then there were 2 other different rooms. I think MFR was there,
Yep.
and eventually more small labels started coming up. Like Love Slap took over Yerba Buena Disco's room, or
Mhm.
Yerba Buena Disco was there, and as well as Love Slap. And then Devotion Records was also there for a short bit.
Okay.
And then Dirty Bird went there in the later years.
Devotion
So-
Devotion Records. That was the
That was-
gospel record, right?
that was,
What
That was
record?
Ruben Mancias' label.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember it.
Yeah, yeah.
Some nice tunes.
They
on
had some
that.
hot records there too.
They put-
Shout out Ruben, love you, brother.
I need to. This is where I get my Discogs on, and then they're £2.50. Right? I lost all my records in a flood, and it's so annoying. I lost all the shelter, all the kind of Detroit stuff, all the really emotive stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm kind of buying them back again. But
It's okay, you'll find them.
I
I'm still,
know.
I'm
But
still digging
the
too.
price of records, though,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
crazy.
since Brexit, it's just gone through the roof in London. You can't,
Really?
and even when you go out digging now, it's kind of like the thing isn't there.
Yeah,
Because you can't import, really. You can import, but it's expensive.
right.
Postage rates. I mean, let's not talk about USPS, but but no, it's super crazy. Okay, so we're kind of there. What would you? So I've asked what your favorite. What your first was. What's your favorite production?
Oh my goodness.
There we go. It's like asking a DJ about his favorite record, right? But I've narrowed it down to your productions.
I think my absolute favorite was my first ever sort of inspired edit, which was the Donnie McClurkin We Fall Down.
Mhm.
And the flip side was the Coffee Brown After Party.
Yeah.
And that was,
Is that
I
a-
was inspired by
Was
that.
that a white?
It was a
the-
white label.
I think
yeah,
yeah.
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 And that was I was so inspired by what JJ did with the Jill Scott He Loves Me.
Yeah.
And of course, I was one of the first to have that and sort of break it.
Yeah.
At
I
a few
remember
of the
that
clubs that I
record.
was playing. And from there, I said, JJ, I got an idea. Let me come in with you and work on this. And
Yeah.
that was the first, like, soon as that
Yeah.
happened, it was on and popping.
And it's the whole canon of R&B mixes that now we were just touching on this a minute ago about stems, and
Yeah.
like now everyone can do it, but
Yeah.
but I just I mean I was kind of DJing in bars in my local area, and
Mhm.
those tunes were just winners because it was it was a subliminal time, the defected time, but you could put a little bit of soul into your set
That's true.
with these things, and like I remember there was a Sunday guy, R&B guy, and he complete inspiration to me. He'd play all the 70s, the 80s, and all the 90s,
Mhm.
Sunshine Anderson,
Mhm.
and then to have those mixes as part of the same
Right.
vibe,
Right.
completely amazing. I still love it, like all the Tiana Taylor stuff that's coming out on Boot, DJ Beloved stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Super nice.
Oh, yeah. Dwayne
Um,
is killing it, right?
Right, like literally. I'm going down an alleyway that I'm
You asked
finding.
a hard question, though, about which one was my favorite. But to me, I think that was the first one that I feel like that Donnie McClurkin was something that really sort of put me on the map. I was doing production stuff as well
Yeah.
with Chris, and Chris and I were really... Chris was kind of just running the gamut, and I was bringing the ideas, and we were doing a lot of our stuff pre-Harlem music.
Mhm.
It was just me sitting there kind of in awe and using my two fingers to create a bass line with him, and
Yeah.
he, just mastered everything else. And then eventually we're like, well, let's just start doing some stuff together and, having our own little production duo. And that's how Harlem Music came about. But by then he was doing a bunch of stuff. He was starting to have some crazy mixed emotions with the industry,
Mhm.
but I was
I hear
like
that.
his cheerleader. Like, no, Chris, you got to stay in it. I mean, we had some powwows in that studio before we even started working on music. So
Mhm.
it was it was some amazing time and very emotional times too.
Yeah.
So.
No, well, we appreciate you, David.
Oh man, thank
I'm
you.
giving you your
Thank
flowers
you.
now.
I'm still trying to keep myself in the game, man.
And you're in the game. You're in the game.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I'm guessing your biggest record is "Let It Fall," right?
Let It Fall.
The power of Lady Alma.
The power of that woman.
Yeah.
And how she, oh my goodness, she's, first of all, she is like my sister from another mister. You know, we are always in touch with one another. And to see how that record, you know, it was a collaboration with not only with just Chris, but Cecil Carthon from the People in Oakland was another part of the crew where we made this track. And Alma came in, and there's some things I'm not gonna mention that were part of the ambiance, but there was some good ambiance.
We were talking salacious though, right?
Okay, yeah.
This is how we
all
make
right.
it spicy.
Okay, I'm gonna break it down. My girl and I, we like to smoke our greenery. We like some good California bud. That is right. That's right. So, you know, I made sure my girl was set up. And she just had a method to her madness, and it was just amazing to watch her create this song. You know, we'd go into the break room, take a couple of hits, talk some quick shit, be silly with one another. She'd go, okay, I'm ready. She'd go in there, she'd start doing rain, rain, and just layer. We're in the other studio going,
It's a
she'd
banger.
take a break, she'd call home, she'd check in with family, you know, talk to a couple of folks, get a little bit of inspiration from them, take a couple more puffs, go back in, do the verse, and it was so, I mean, to this day,
Yeah.
it is like one of the most amazing studio days I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. I mean, and it produced like an anthem.
Oh, wow. And we didn't know. I mean, that record was out. It sat for a number of years, and then to have that viral video go and just really catapult it to the stratosphere.
Yeah.
You know, so in all honesty, I think with the combination of course, the amazing work that we all did on that, but just to have just that touch of that energy from that gentleman in Africa just really feeling it, all the more sort of solidified how we were feeling it when we made the song.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it was just like, this is how we were feeling that day, and and it just went like gangbusters. So
Yeah. No. So, like I said, so what's going on now? You've made one album, right? I was reading up about this on the plane over here.
yeah.
Before you'd agreed, but I'm like, he's going to agree. I know he's going to agree. No one says no to me. No, I was like, put a call into Julie, put a call into Nina. Let's get it going. No, but so that came out 2018, 2019.
What the
big
Friends in
album.
Harmony?
Yeah,
That came out 4 years ago. 5 years ago.
Are you still dining off this, or are you working on something else?
I'm working on some new stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm slowly working on a few things. There's some things that are in a folder that says sophomore album. But I definitely am keeping myself busy with remix work and things like that.
Can you tease something?
As far as
what's in the folder? Is there something in the folder that you know is going to be on the album?
Yes, 2 things so far.
Is that it?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Is there a marimba in it?
Say that again.
A marimba or some Rhodes?
It's actually it's a step away from. Let's just say this: I played it for the first time ever, and this is how long I've been sitting on it. Back in January of this year.
Okay.
I played it when I was doing a 6-hour set.
Yeah.
And I did a live stream, and Candice McKenzie from London reached out to me, and she was like, "What is that record?"
Yeah.
And I told her what it was, and it was going to be on the album. She was just like, "That is fire." And it's really just a super deep sort of tracky. I'm kind of feeling, I've been feeling Kraftwerk and a lot of the old school 80s sort of electro pop, but yet I got to be soulful. I'm a California new wave kid.
No,
80s
of course.
New wave kid listening to Prince.
It's not Tomorrowland.
No. So there's a lot of that influence in there, but right now I've been working on. Got asked to do something for Crystal Waters, and I've been
Okay.
working on that right now. And it's
Amazing.
a whole different direction
Yeah.
of where I think she's always been going. So kind of giving
Okay.
her something laid back and a little sort of like soulful Afro, Jersey
Nice.
vibe to
Ooh,
it. Yeah.
this is
So
good.
it's yeah.
When's this coming out?
I do not know.
Ah,
I do
okay.
not know. But I literally just got the final vocals, and I started working on it a few weeks ago, going back and forth with it, plus with a couple other things I got on my plate.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's gonna be really nice,
Okay.
really nice.
So we're all here in a loft room over a bar in Amsterdam. What brings you here? Is
You?
this, me? I didn't bring you here. No, you find yourself with me. But no,
I do,
is
and I'm
this-
glad.
How
Thank
many
you.
aids? How many aid? Sorry, I called him Aid like he's my mate.
Right.
But like,
How many
ADE?
ADs?
How many have you
This
done?
will be my second one.
Second one.
Yeah,
When was the first one?
Just before the pandemic. I think
Okay.
it was
2019.
2019, and we had a ball.
It was
Who did you play with the last time around? Who
It
was on the
just-
bill?
It was just I think it was just a Moulton
Oh, okay.
music showcase. We did at this little small spot. Nothing crazy. Few
Yeah.
folks came out.
Yeah,
I was happy to see like Ultranate and a few folks come
Yeah.
through and
yeah.
show some
It's
love.
a lovely life. I'm
But-
just happy to see Alternate. Like, just happens. Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I
know.
know,
you
I
know
know,
what I'm
I
talking
know,
about.
I know.
It's,
I
it's
do my research.
It's amazing to just have people who are doing amazing music in this
Yeah.
industry,
Yeah,
and I'm still a fan. I'm a fan. I fan out.
yeah.
Saw Louis yesterday for a quick
I know. I
minute.
saw
and
you there.
Fanned out.
I wasn't there, but I saw the video. There's David.
I fanned out.
I
just
should have
'cause
messaged you. Like, can you copy one of those five? You know.
I would have hooked that up. Yeah. so-
Yeah, I'll pick it up at BB in a couple of weeks.
there you
couple of
go.
weeks time.
There you go.
But no, so that's so. And then so that was your first experience of Amsterdam, right? Or have you?
The first time, yeah, I hadn't been here
You've
before.
never been here before?
No.
Wow.
It reminds me a lot of living through the military years with my dad.
Okay.
Like because he was stationed in Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah.
And we lived there. My brother and I were just kids, but just seeing how the element of the Amsterdam life, it just reminds me of what it
Yeah,
was like when I
it's-
was a kid, being able to get on the well, we call them trams or light rails in the
Yeah.
U.S. So I forget. My mom says it's called the U-Bahn, but I could be wrong.
in Germany.
Yeah. something like that. So.
The U-Bahn in
Yeah,
Germany.
yeah.
Yes, it is indeed the metro. Yes.
Yeah.
So to me, when you're 8 years old, you're just like making sure you hold your mom's hand and you're just riding. So, but it's beautiful here. It's
Yeah, no,
beautiful
it is.
here.
We're staying. I'm staying on the east, and
Okay.
you know what? We went a little bit crazy on the first night. We always go crazy on the first night,
Always go
right? It's a
crazy on the
thing.
first night.
And I'm like, I can't get crazy. Oh no, we're gonna get crazy. I need to pull the ripcord. Like, but I was walking around late at night, and I was like, you know what? This is actually super. This is like, it's a bit like East London.
yeah.
And my thing, I love East London.
Mm-hmm.
I love East Amsterdam. It's like maybe it's just the East
I love
thing.
London. I love
Is-
London.
Is
too.
is
London's
West
amazing.
Amsterdam just full of rich people?
It's not the same.
Oh,
It's
okay.
different.
Oh.
London here is more raw.
Okay.
It's creative also, and it's the ethnicities are mixed.
That's
But
what
you
I
see
love.
also-
I
Multicultural.
love seeing the diversity of,
Yeah.
of ethnicity here, and
Yeah.
and everybody's
It's real.
usually everybody's just kind of doing their thing, but if you were to stop and talk to somebody, they give you attention, and
Sure.
yeah,
Definitely.
that's not like that in America.
Yeah.
Like,
Amsterdam and,
they're like quick to be like, leave me alone.
yeah.
So
It's the culture is different here. It's
Yeah,
very different.
I believe it.
Different to London as well, because I lived in London before.
yeah,
So I can compare the two. But then you have people in Amsterdam. They're traveled, and most of them they are non-Dutch as well. Therefore, they know how it is to be an immigrant, and if you're stuck, you're happy to give help because you want somebody to.
you want somebody to be able to help you. You
Exactly.
do unto others what you want to
Yes.
have done upon yourself. Yeah, I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
So,
totally get it.
what's your agenda during this AD, David?
In all
What's-
honesty, I
what's
think I'm
cooking?
just here to kind of show face. Not often that I get around to these parts of the world, especially knowing that the European industry is a lot different in comparison to what we're used to in the States. And also just meeting more with a lot of the European distributors. Like we went to an event yesterday, and Paradise is one of our distributor companies that we've been dealing with, and it was just great to show face with the owners and the people who are help pushing your product, through all the social media platforms, let alone different record stores and things like that. So it was really cool to just kind of like, hey, here we are, So
it's appreciated, I think, to have this human contact after a while as well. Okay.
So that's really been the big thing. I'm going to play tomorrow night with Johnny Fiasco, Homero Espinoza, John Lemon from Viva Recordings out of Seattle, and his crew. So it's going to be a nice little party. This is going to be at the J.D. Williams Whiskey Bar.
Oh, yeah, no, that is in Negenschat. Yeah, in the little street.
So
it's very cozy.
We'll be there tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm playing just yet, but I will hopefully post something.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, please.
We finish at 1 o'clock. I don't know whether we've got any plans. Uru is my person that is telling me what I'm doing, apparently. Maybe I should stop paying her.
This time.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Next year it's all different. She's been super helpful, super nice host.
Good.
So that's it, Amsterdam vibe. And then what's coming up next? What's on your agenda? What's a little bit further afield? You go back to America? Are you skipping to another country after Amsterdam? Or?
I'm traveling a bit in the States. I'll be in somewhere in the mid part of the Midwest. I guess it would be called. I'm in Nebraska of all places. Never been there before. I'm playing in LA. And then I have a bunch of things that are coming up just in the San Francisco alone towards the end of the year. And then I've already started making plans for the UK in June, doing the drumming club. Doing that party again in June of 2024 with Dave O'Neill and his crew. So I'm super excited about that. It's one of my favorite parties. It's just a ritual. I can't not come to the UK and not do that party.
No, I hear you.
So shout out to Dave. Yeah.
And what is so it's interesting. We had DJ Saeed from here yesterday, and we were having some quite interesting chats. So you're based in Oakland now, or?
I live out a little further east. I'm still in the Bay Area conglomerate, but I'm in the burbs. I'm in an area called Pittsburgh, which is small.
Not Pittsburgh.
Yeah. It's not the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
No,
it's
it's
Pittsburgh, California. And
that would be a commute.
Yeah. There's a few folks that are like, really? You live that far out? Like, really? Come on now. But I've been living there with my partner. We bought a house out there about 5 years ago, so we've been there. We got all our dogs, big yard, all those, all those things.
Is it? How are you finding San Francisco post-pandemic? Well, how are you finding the area? I should say, not.
It's changed quite a bit. Let me say this: I've been in the San Francisco area since started DJing up there in '92. I moved up there in '93. There has always been homelessness going on in San Francisco. It has not changed. It has just gotten worse. Yeah. That's the only problem. And for it being worse in San Francisco, it has just hit all the other towns as well. So even though everybody knows it's in San Francisco, it's in Oakland, it's in Hayward, it's in Richmond, San Jose. It's just it's what's going on right now.
And do you think that was driven by the pandemic? Do you think it's got worse because of the pandemic, or is it so? I mean, I try and keep up with politics in the US without making myself really angry.
Oh.
I mean, I already have the UK to deal with, but I just find it interesting. I mean, I went to San Francisco ages, so long ago.
When
right?
do you remember?
I mean, probably 20 years ago.
Okay.
And it's quite cosmopolitan. But with the cosmopolitan, you kind of get the artists, you get the kind of that vibe.
I think the elements of the pandemic make the factor of homelessness worse. You get folks that are, people are living differently now.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since the pandemic, I think people, there's some people that are not. Like downtown San Francisco is pretty much a ghost town now that people work from home. So all those high rises, there's nothing going down there. So with nothing going on down there has changed sort of the market value of how people shop, how they dine, how they do this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
And you're now seeing major stores closing. But I think that was going to happen anyways, because when the pandemic hit, everybody was shopping. More and more people were shopping from home. Those that never did it before are now doing it, and they're seeing the comforts of it. So they're like, oh, I'll just get online. Boom, boom, boom. See you when I see you.
Yeah.
So there's that sort of natural effect of the change.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that the nightlife is still pretty happening.
Yeah.
You know, I also know that our musical culture is getting older, you know, and I'm still wishing to find that audience of young kids, give them a little bit of education. I still see them here and there, and I get very happy to know that I've made an impact on one or two of those young kids that are at a party with a bunch of older folks that are giving them sort of education. They're like going, you know, because usually you get a young kid that's going to, let's say, an EDM party or a major festival, goes to a soulful party. They're not seeing baby powder at a festival. They're not seeing, like, folks really getting their dance on and just, like, there's an etiquette for the dance floor, the whole nine. It's a whole different religion.
Yeah.
So...
And would you say the younger crowd is predominantly EDM? Because it's interesting.
No, I think it's more of what they find through the internet.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, they navigate wherever their friends are navigating. So how they search, you know, it may be a song that they may hear just coincidentally through a mix of a friend's stuff or what have you, and go, oh, I like that song. I know that's how I did it in the 80s. You know, I listened to the mixture. We didn't even have internet and all that stuff when I was,
imagine.
you know, in high school and all that. So whenever I heard a DJ play a particular song, I was like, okay, I would either went to the newsstand to look up a magazine to see if I could find it.
Yeah.
And if I couldn't find it, I was just hoping that DJ would play it again that following Friday.
There was no Shazam at the time.
There was no Shazam. You just had to hum it and remember.
Yeah, that's it. But that's funny because I have two children, and they are 12 and 9, and they listen to music, and they hear some songs. Oh, Mom, do you know this song? I said, yes, darling. It's 30 years old.
Yes.
You know, it's been whatever, but this is really old. Oh, really, Mom? I said, yeah, darling. But at least there is still some influence still.
That's
true.
It's
still there.
That's true.
It's a bit, edited, whatever. But, I think it's education and, and that's it.
I mean, for us being in the age that we are, I'm still learning stuff about music every day. So to know that these young kids have such a plethora of ways to find this music, I mean, I think I would probably blow my brain up just like, oh my God, where? yeah, totally. It really is. Really is.
And then you look at the track source charts, and everyone's just producing records at such a rate now. That
the attention span is like that.
Yeah, totally. It's
it
mad.
really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about that yesterday. Homero and I were talking about that a little bit yesterday. Just going like, wow, you want to see stuff on the charts for a long period of time because back in the days that's how it was.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stations went behind the music that they were promoting or playing, and there was that outlet. We don't have that outlet. I mean, we have the outlet, but we don't have it the way we did during the radio days. Not too many people are listening to radio, and if they are, it's
yeah. No, I get it.
MSNBC or CNN. I don't know.
No, you need
Give me some news talk.
We need Don Cornelius back, right? We need Don Cornelius.
We always need some Don Cornelius. Yes.
No, it's interesting because I go out a little bit. I've got small kids. I don't go out a lot. I think some people just think I'm ghost, but when I do go out, there are younger people now in London that go to these events, and I do find it interesting. Like there is a movement, I think, in London whereby house has its as its thing, like making moves. There are these parties that exist, but then you have kind of the radio stations like NTS that push the more diversified sounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I joke about Iranian funk all the time, but it's I want to party with Iranian funk.
Right.
Find 5 records. But it's very interesting in London. Right? We've got crazy jazz, like really great jazz. We've got kind of really assorted. I want to call them selectors, but someone will shoot me. But like, you know, the people that play esoteric sounds.
Let me ask you this question, because to me, whenever I have the opportunity to hear the UK stations, I personally feel there's so much better diversity, whether it be a soul station or whether it's a dance station, things like that. Do you feel that all the stations are sounding the same?
We were literally just talking about this. So crazy. So you have the kind of same problem. We have the same problem that I guess you guys have with Clear Channel.
Yeah.
I used to work for a commercial radio station, just doing stuff, not DJing or anything. It was data, and it was super interesting to me. I'm a geek. This is why I do all this. Like, but when I started plowing through all the data, I was like, this is mad. The way that they create playlists and they have panels, and it's like nostalgia, and you know, and what it does is it's not progressive.
Not
because
at all.
what happens is when you start programming by numbers, I'm not slating all the radio stations. We were giving love to Universal Rhythms a little bit earlier. You know, I know you do the Happy Days thing on My Soul, right? Is it My Soul?
I do. Just it's the Saturday Night Master Mix that I do.
Exactly.
For My Soul.
So My Soul, it's got a good range of stuff.
They do.
You on a Sunday, like Josh was on there for a little while. I don't know if he's still on there.
Oh really?
I haven't listened to it in a while because my wife now makes me do ironing, and ultimately Twitch is a lot more engaging for me. Yeah. So I sit there and I listen to my friends Rob Alon or someone. But if outside of that box, I listen to One Extra quite a lot. That's the urban channel, and again, some of it's kind of a bit naughty, and I do wonder about this because the lyrics now are, you know, I'm not Mayor Whitehouse, but I was like, we used to complain about, I don't know, pull your pussy or whatever, but now it's
pretty much
super crazy. And you know, I was on Instagram yesterday, and someone shared something, and it was like, this is all a plan, like the Nation of Islam and all this kind of stuff. And you kind of go, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but maybe there is something here, right? You know, the way that hip hop has changed, and it's now this, and there's not positive messages. That's and I think in house we do have that positive messages. It's all of, you know, there's. You know, we do have some naughty tracks. I've got some naughty tracks. Sometimes I do like a 50-minute naughty track section. Anyway, I'm not doing that again for a while.
I think a lot of the time, anything that I know that has some explicit lyrics in is either because it was, especially with the R&B records in the U.S., you know, they'll have a few curse words here or there, you know, and it's just for that particular artist, let's say a SZA or you know, LMA or someone on that caliber, you know. But for the most part, there's still, you know, FCC in the U.S. is still pretty on that. You know, if they hear it, they're getting charged. Yeah. I was quite surprised when I got into Amsterdam. The driver that was taking me to my hotel was playing a station. And I was enjoying it because I was loving all the Afro stuff that was being played. Yeah. But they were also playing these hip hop records, and I was just like, "Did I just hear what I thought I heard?" You know, it was like N-word, this stuff. I'm like, I go, "You guys can play that here?" Goes,
it's very liberal.
Like,
it's very.
Wow.
I mean,
you couldn't even begin to get away with that.
After 9, I think it's after 9 p.m. in the UK, you can put swearing. During the day, it's radio edits, but even the radio edits, right? You're kind of going, I know what that word is.
Yeah.
You know, even my kids pick up on it. You know, when my 7-year-old's kind of twerking and doing all, I'm like, you know what? I think we need to get your diet back over here because this is not going to work for you.
Yeah.
But no, it is. But we are somewhat lucky. We do have a diversified programming. The station I was talking about earlier, we had like, you know, I said, you know, it was Trinidad. Trinidadian Deep. We had loads of jazz, we had loads of soul, and it was an internet station, but it was super nice. And we don't have anything like that. And that's my love. Like, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I like deep. I like soulful. I like jazz. I like all the kind of niche things that potentially don't hit hard to the rest of the population.
Right.
Yeah. When you do a wedding and you're like, I don't want to do this. But then you're like, it's money though. I still don't want to do this. And you're like, can I? No, I can't. But that's where that's where the remixes of these tunes can come in. You know,
That's
like
true.
sometimes you get away with it.
Excuse me.
I think what are we on? We're on. We've got maybe another 10 minutes. Is
Okay.
that cool with you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I feel like the next question. I want to hear some stories.
Uh-oh.
You know this is coming. So, like
Juicy
like
stories.
but
Okay.
like so I followed you for quite a while. Like during the pandemic, you were DJing outside in the hotel. That's why I love Twitch. You just get
You saw
transported
some
to.
of the live streams that we do outside.
Yeah, like just
outside
in
of
real
venues
like
and things
I remember
that.
one day waking up and JV was at was it the Forge or the Foundry?
The Foundry.
place,
Yeah.
And it was him and Cody. And I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
I've woken up and they're streaming, and I feel like I'm in the club.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Utopia. He also did one from Utopia.
Yep.
Woke up and it's like Inner Life, and I'm just like, this is the perfect Sunday get up.
Man, let me tell you, I've been trying to keep up with the live stream stuff, but this year of 2023, I have been on the road so much.
No, well, real life is more important than online.
I miss it though. I loved it because when the pandemic kicked into gear, I think I was one of the first few, especially out of the Bay Area, that was doing a live stream.
Yeah.
And
in the Moulton studios, right? That was where it was.
I did it at my house first, and then Moulton was wanted to do sort of a pre-programmed weekly type show, and I did it a few times there too, which I love. You get us behind the decks. We just
I know
go into a whole different mindset.
What we do, right?
So I told myself I definitely want to get back and do some more Twitch stuff. So
well, you know what? There's always an invite from us. We've kind of changed the format a little bit.
Nice,
but we are going to we're still going to do the raid stuff a little bit more. But with the pandemic over, we've kind of pitched it. It's like we need to do a variety of programming, and we've got some quite influential people on Twitch telling me what to do, because ultimately I don't know everything. Sometimes you do a survey and it's like, no, we've got to start doing this, Rob. Okay, we'll do it. We'll give it a go.
Right.
But I do the community that we built around the world is so important to us. And this is why we're kind of doing this, and this is why we're building the other platforms, because we want this to continue.
Yeah.
And you talk about how you get the young people involved in all of this. You have to hit them on the platforms, and you have to give them the messages. Like again, we were talking about this 45 minutes ago: authenticity, legacy, community.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be the words for we are all getting old, and there's the people that understand where this all came from, the lineage.
Right.
And I feel like now I'm living through the 90s again. Everyone's making funky house remixes of disco, right? But is everybody understanding where that disco tune's coming from this time around? Or is it now this is just a funky house disco tune?
Well,
and there's no education.
Consideration the whole Afro house scene. How do you feel? How do you feel from the beginnings when that started? Do you think it's still the same?
Are you trying to get me cancelled?
No, not at all. Because I love it. But I miss certain elements of it.
I will say this. I come from a place where it's like Ron, it's like Joe, it's like Anthony. It's like some of the other deepest. Antonio's massive in my world. Yeah. So that was Afro House, right? That was Afro House at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And Louis took it to South Africa, Black Coffee. I don't know how it works. I'm not South African. But, there you had Quato, you had all the things that Gom, all the things that built into it.
Of course.
I do feel, I say this quite a lot, I'll play Afro House, but there's such a massive amount of it now. And it's really minimal, right?
Very much so.
And I'm going to say this.
I miss the storytelling. There were musicians. I miss the storytelling of it all.
There were musicians and there's producers, and there's producers that do different elements of skill, right?
Yeah.
And what I would love to do is the producers that make music are musical. I'd love them to get more involved in that scene. I understand the technology, there's things in South Africa which make it very difficult, right?
Of course.
But ultimately, it's such a rich it's such a rich experience. All these records, you know, it's not just a 4/4 beat. There's layers that you can, you know, and you talk about Joker and you talk about Ron. They absolutely have layers, and that to me is I love that music, because when you play that music, it changes vibes. Whereas if you are just playing classic house, or not a Wade, but like classic house, or the house that is coming out now, it is very processed and quantized. It's boring.
Yeah.
It's absolutely boring.
Yeah.
There are some people that have a template. I'm not going to say their names, but ultimately the template now allows them to deliver lots of tunes all at the same time.
Right.
But the mysticism of the music now, it's lost a little bit, because before you kind of went on a journey through their catalogue. Now you kind of go through the catalogue and you're like, no, that one's all right. No, you know, I listen to tunes now for about 15 seconds, and if they don't grab me,
if it doesn't grab you,
I'm moved on.
Yeah.
They could have an amazing roads
Yeah.
bit in the middle, but I'm like, it just sounds like bang, 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 bang.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
But if it starts off with storms, you got me. You got me at least for another minute.
I love lyrics. You can speak to me in Swahili, call me a shit ass motherfucker, but as long as it's a vocal and it's dope, I am in it to win it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I used Afro House as an example.
Yeah.
I just feel like, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to be shady, but it's just my opinion, that it has become very
templated.
It doesn't feel as black.
It's sterile.
It's become very, you know, Yeah.
I mean, I'm self-aware, right? I mean, if you type in Afro House in Instagram and use it as a tag, and then you see what comes up, I'm like,
I've never done that, but now I'm intrigued.
You know what? I think you'll be surprised. It's like when you put Deep House in, and you're like, is this deep? I don't think this is deep. I think people are just taking things now and well, it's deeper than this, so it must be Deep House.
But you know, we've been. I know for myself, being a DJ since. Playing house music since 1989.
Yeah,
I can officially say that I have seen it go through its cycles.
Yeah.
I've seen each of the genres. You know, house music alone, I remember back when it just meant a certain conglomerate of producers and artists and things of that nature in the 80s and maybe beginning 90s.
Yeah.
And then when it went through its loop and its cycle, then it became, you know, the garage, speed garage, this, that two-step. And then all of a sudden it's now this whole new conglomerate of house.
Yeah.
You know, and then you put soulful house next to it and it's a whole different thing too.
It's like there are other MP3 sites, like, you know, but using tracks as an example again, you've got the charts, right?
Yeah.
And you have to the fact that you even now have to split it out into each of those things, and I kind of start at 46 because all the nonsense is above. Not all the time. No. The win ratio further down for me is, okay, I'm there, 69, 76, 88, you know, and I look for timelessness. That's what I do. You know, I'm not going to, I'm opinionated. And I apologize.
I'm feeling now that I'm about to be 55. I'm a little more opinionated these days too. But I love our culture. I love our culture. I love my gay black culture. In case y'all didn't know, yes, I'm a gay black man, and I have a whole different obstacle than the rest of the soulful community, so to speak. There's quite a few of us that are in this game. We have a different thought process. One. Two, music process. You know, we like to act a fool, and we like music to make us act a fool too. So there's still that love and that feel for beats and things of that nature to be a part of the music that I play. Or the floor that I play for. But don't get it twisted. I know how to play for, you can give me the whitest audience in the world. I know how to play for them too. For sure. I know how to play for the straight kids. I wear many hats just in my city alone.
Yeah. No, I
And
know.
that's, I mean, I'm very fortunate to have lasted this long to still sort of
Well,
have
you're not
a
fortunate. You're
relevancy.
just you are
Well,
you are the person that you are, right? And
Your time
I
first.
appreciate
the
thank you,
cadence, the
thank you.
cadence of everyone's life is so important because you never know when it's going to pop,
Yeah,
and you ride the wave.
yeah.
But you ride the wave because you're quality.
It's about the music. It's
We
about the
played
music.
we played some tunes earlier,
Yeah.
and they all have that feeling of, you know, it doesn't matter if they came out in 2016, they
Thank
still bang,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
It's not I jumped on a trend and I'm doing this. You've been solid all the way through, and you have
I'm
your
going to
sound.
continue being so all
Well,
the way through.
exactly,
Thank you.
exactly.
All right, so I'm ready for these. I'm ready for these questions. I'm scared, but I'm ready. Come on.
No, well, I'm just. So I never made it to Miami, right? And I know you were a mainstay on the Miami
Oh
kind
my
of
goodness.
WMC,
Yeah.
kind of the
Oh, yeah.
WMC kind of circuit for a
Yeah,
long time.
I was a Miami conference prostitute. Yeah, I was.
And then, so it's Miami Music Week now. It's different.
It is. Yes.
Yeah, but it's not like the conference.
It's so different.
It's kind of corporate.
So different. I went for the first time this year.
Yeah.
Played with Mr. V and did a couple other parties and had a ball at them all. Very intimate, but yet still quality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to be able to play with your peers and to have a crowd that was in it to win it.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was great. It brought a little bit of that old school nostalgia of being able to go to these parties and run into jazz, Jelly Bean Benitez,
Yeah.
Barbara Tucker, and
Yeah.
you know, the who's who of the culture.
Yeah. It's like
And at every party that I went to, it was like
Yeah.
that, which was really cool.
but
It's just not. This year alone was really weird, just for the fact that they had a pretty bad situation that happened in Miami where someone was killed on the streets, and I
Mhm.
think it was during spring break weekend.
Yeah, it's always-
So they, like, you couldn't. I mean, they had banisters blocking sidewalks and everything. You couldn't
Yeah.
park anywhere over there. It was so different.
yeah.
But yet, seeing how Collins, Ocean, and Washington and all those streets were with sort of the banning of keeping folks at bay,
Mm-hmm.
it threw me off a little bit. As well as just that used to be the area where you saw everybody. You could just be walking on the street and run into Don Tallman or Josh Milan. And,
Yep.
You know, and it wasn't like that, but
No.
I also know that it's a different scene. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of those kids are not going as much, and they are going, but it's very.
It
It's
used to
now
be the dominant scene,
downtown.
and now it's like the niche scene.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But I see its potential to come back. I can see it coming back
I-
to some degree.
Someone once said to me, when times are bad, art is created. And
True.
you know, like when we live in a capitalistic world, right? We
Yeah.
know this. You know, it's not great right now, but to me, when there's music that has the positive messages and there's I call it happy music, but like, you know, it kind of allows you to feel and to escape.
Of course.
And I feel like, you know, the reason some of this music is super popular because you can take whatever you want to take and go join the Borg in the middle of the dance floor and do this and wait
Right.
for the drop,
Right.
you know, and
Right.
then someone will throw a pie at you. But like, but
What kind of pie, though?
Well, I don't know, lemon meringue. No,
Tasty.
but it's everyone needs their escape,
Of
and
course.
and for
And
me,
they still look for it till this day. People still look for that. Whether
Yeah.
you're playing, whether I'm playing, whoever's playing.
they try and
all-
escape when I play. No,
Damn.
they lock the doors again. What do you mean? I can't get out?
Wow. Stop that. Stop that. No.
No, I joke. I wish I had people in the bar. But no, it's all good. But yeah, so the one last question, and then
Sure.
your time is. So what describe what was your best? Do we just restrict it to Miami, or should we? What's your best? Your day? What was the one set that sticks in your mind? Going, you know what? We turned it out and it was mad, and then we did this, and we went to the after party, and it was crazy.
Are you talking about
In general,
in
or
general?
I don't know. Like WMC seems to be like a good place to start there because as we said, it was the place.
I don't know if it's just how my age has sort of changed how I go about carrying on. I mean, I literally just, I'm going through a transition right now to where I haven't been drinking, haven't been smoking, and I'm really enjoying how I feel right now. It feels amazing. And I just tell myself now, if I'm tired, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. I don't stick around and try to keep up and do 50 million things. Like, I'm going to go out tonight, and I've already told myself, if it's only 20 minutes, it's only 20 minutes. If it's 3 hours, it's going to be 3 hours.
Yeah.
But there have been some nights. I know for sure every year I do a huge event for San Francisco Pride.
Yeah.
And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. And we're doing our third 2-day weekend. We've already started getting some ideas on what we want to do. And we'll make those announcements when the time is right. But that would be one of the weekends that I know it's like, okay, we're going here, we're going to go there, we're going to carry on here, and I got to get some sleep to make it for the next day.
No, I hear you.
And it's everything. It's everything. That's one thing that I will always love about San Francisco is that, even though the event is geared towards, let's say, a gay audience, it's San Francisco. It's always going to have, I always tell straight dudes, I'm like, yo, come to my party. You'll find somebody. You'll find a girl. You'll find a beautiful girl there. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, told you.
We have greetings from Funkadelic Sessions.
Ah,
the man Errol Russell in the building.
Thanks for joining.
How you doing, sir?
what's going on?
He's I think Errol landed yesterday, I feel, and he's going to be DJing in the city.
Oh, okay.
I know his Funkadelic Sessions sister, Amazing Grace, is also in the city. She'll be DJing for us in this room tomorrow.
Okay. Cool.
And I love that girl. Always playing soulful vibes. It's goodness.
Dope.
So I think that's it. Are you satisfied? Has this worked out well for you?
I was waiting for some crazier questions.
Oh, you want crazy questions? Oh.
I thought we were teetering on the edge here. No, just
No. Well, you know what? I do want this to be on YouTube, and I don't want to get sued.
I got you.
So
I respect
so
that.
I think we kept this. I think we kept this 100.
This was awesome.
It's been super nice to kind of hang with you, and I think we did something a little bit different to what you normally do, which is what I tried to work out.
Oh, this
with.
was great. Felt comfortable and.
Yeah,
And
perfect.
it's great. It's just great conversations, like as if we were just at a bar and just, hey, let's chat.
I love to talk, and
wrong with
people
that?
lament me for this. It's like, well, we just want to hear the music. Please stop talking.
Are they trying to innuendally tell you to shut up? Or
Probably.
okay.
Maybe I need a timeout. But no. The one thing that I'm trying to do on my channel and on this channel is document stories.
Nice.
And document stories because a lot of stuff is moving and a lot of stuff is changing.
Yeah.
But by educating and talking to people like you,
Thank you.
you get the level of the art that you got that you do. Everybody does.
There's a lot.
And it's not just, well, I just knocked this out on Logic in 10 minutes. Took some splice samples, but no, it's nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, all good.
I'm glad to be a part of your history.
That's it.
I like that.
And I hope I get to add a little bit more another time.
You know what? I'm gonna June 2024. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna find this.
That'll work.
But send me a message and I'll come.
Okay.
I'll dance. I'll create the dance circle. I'm an awful dancer.
I'm better.
Okay.
But I'm sure just having a white man pogoing in the middle of the dance, it'd be super nice. It'd be super. Oh, who invited him? David.
I think if you could beat match, you can dance. You can at least do a 2-step.
I do a sway. I
There
definitely
we
do a
go.
sway.
There you go.
You know,
You're not on the
I can't really do a
3-4,
twirl.
you just,
Body roll. Can't do a body roll. Anyway, this is jokes. So thank you guys. We're going to wrap up. I appreciate if you're watching this on YouTube. like and subscribe. I joke, just do what you want to do. We'll be back in this room tomorrow morning. If you're watching live, we'll be back with Marcel Vogel. Me and Marcel go back a long time, at least 3 years. And that will be fun because I'm sure he's going to try and freak me out. But, you know, you can't trick a troll. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Log in early. TT, it's 4 a.m. I don't expect you to get up early. But, hey, you know, do what you do. It's all going to be archived, and this is the new vibe. This is the new vibe. The education, the legacy, the community, the authenticity.
Yes.
Let's rock this. Let's stop complaining about the think button, and let's try and educate. And that's kind of why I'm here.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm the person, but some people have put me there, so I'll give it a go until someone better comes along. Is that a deal? I think it's a deal.
That'll work.
All right. So peaceful onward journey, whatever you were doing today. Please love each other, be nice to people, and we will see you on the next one. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.